Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Hope you are all having an amazing day today. My name is Lex and welcome back to some more GTA 5 where today we are looking at this over here. This is a Mark 1 MR2, specifically a Mark 1B. This is the later model AW11. Now, this is honestly one of my favorite cars of all time. I have memories attached to this car because my brother had one when I was younger, and it was basically like one of the first cool cars that I'd ever been in, had ever seen, and it's just something that I've always had a bit of an attachment to. And I think this is actually the first time I've ever seen a decent quality version of this car available for GTA 5, and so naturally, I'm downloading it, I'm checking it out. In today's video, we're going to do a couple of builds. I was going to say drive around and check the performance. I would say that the handling on this car is actually not that great, in all honesty. It's very slippy slidey, and it's not just because of the surface that we're on. I don't know whether that was an intended design choice or whether it was just poor handling setup, but this car doesn't really drive that nicely. So I think today is going to be basically just making a couple of really cool builds. So let's take a look around. This is the MR2. It is a supercharged model. I do love the supercharged rear end. It just looks so much better. I don't know if it's going to give us the option of the other rear lights. It'd be interesting if it did, but I'm going to put them on screen right now so you can compare the two to see what they look like. So here we have the interior, and honestly, what is one of my favorite interiors of all time. I just love the 80s-ness and the angularity of it all. I also love, because it is a mid-rear car, the way that this is positioned for gearbox and everything else. There is this high middle section, and it just feels so good to sit in. If you ever get to sit in one of these cars, go sit in one. It has a really nice feeling to it. So I've opened everything up, and well, I'm noticing something here. Unless this is tied to a rear door. Ahaha, okay. Rear left door for the engine bay. Interesting. So taking a look at the front, we have the frunk. We have our spare wheel. We have a strut brace in here and the usual gubbins. Then we have all of our doors. Of course, this car has pillarless doors. Then we have the weird little boot space. I will say that the way this is modeled makes you think it isn't that deep. It's actually a surprisingly deep boot on the real car. And then we have our engine all 3D modeled right back here. This is great. So onto the tuning parts, and I'm going to do the little details first. So we have the options of Japanese number plates, which is very cool. And then we also have a Japanese number plate that would be up in the window. I kind of wish there was an option for none, because I really like this front end when it has nothing on it. On the interior, we have an option for a red interior. It's kind of a shame that we can't color this ourselves, or at least it doesn't seem that we can, because I do love that black original dashboard, but interesting option that we can have in red. In terms of seat options, we have the stock seats, we have remove left seat, we then have a red bride for the driver, then removed, and then dual red brides, and then we also have some black brides. I've got to say that the original seats are incredibly comfortable, so I kind of just want to go for the original stock seats because they are just so comfy. On the wheel options, we have the stock. Thank you for moving your hands, Michael. We have the Nardi, and then we have the red Vertex with some teeth. I do like that Nardi wheel. I do like the stock wheel. I think I'm going to go with the Nardi, actually. So on the side strips, we have the option of the supercharged strips. Then we have this with the white lines, and then we have that with completely removed strips. I'm just gonna... I might keep the side strip. I'll keep the side strip and see how we go. And then we also have the option for sleepy eyes. Oh, doesn't he look so tired? He looks so sleepy. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep that stock. So onto the spoiler options, and we have the stock. We have remove wing, which I kind of... It feels wrong, and at the same time, I kind of like it in a way, but I do love that original spoiler. We also have the drag wing. We then have the low-level spoiler, the 326 power-inspired one, which is kind of like the original but wider. Yeah, I guess, well, okay, slightly different, but yeah, it's interesting. I'm not sure I like it though. And then we also have a high-level spoiler. What do I... The problem with this is I love this car in its standard form. You really don't have to do much to this car for it to just look incredible. So I'm actually going to make this like my perfect one first. So I'm going to keep that stock, and then we're going to do a couple more builds afterwards. So we have, on the exhaust, we have the stock, we have the big, massive chrome tip. It's a bit big for this car. We then have the titanium tip, we have the dual exhaust, and then a longer dual exhaust. Oh, boy. I kind of, yeah. I think the only one that looks somewhat okay is this one. But I'm not really a fan of any of them. They're just too big. They just look a bit odd on this car. Then we have options for a roll cage in primary and secondary and gold. Interestingly, that we have a gold option. I mean, if I had this, I probably wouldn't have a roll cage through it. So for this build, I'm keeping it stock. Then we have an option for a carbon... Oh, okay. That carbon hood. No, not really. Don't need it. On the roof, we have the options of a plastic cover over the T-bar or a painted roof. Kind of wish we had an option for a sunroof and a solid, just so that we had all things. But I guess the way it's been modelled here, it's pretty much modelled for a T-bar. Well, I guess in that case, if I'm having a T-bar, I want the windows. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep that stock. Then we can upgrade the engine, brakes, transmission. I'm going to see if this handles any better, but I get the feeling it won't. My God, that could be slammed down low. Just look at that. That is ridiculous. That's too low. But maybe for handling characteristics, it might make it better, so I'll try it out. Then we also have a few liveries done the old style way. So we've got the standard just painted. We then have this one, Fujifilm 09. Don't like how that looks over there. Looks kind of weird. Just a bunch of different sponsors on there. Then we have a Red Suns one. And then we have what looks to be nothing again. Oh, no. We've got some TRD, Advan, Yokohama stuff on the bonnet. And that's it. Well, I'm keeping that stock. I'll stick a turbo on it, even though it's supposed to be a supercharged model. We don't really have a supercharger option in this game, so turbo it is. On the wheels, well, let's see what we got here. So I'm going to go for the Evo V4 dished, just because I wanted something a bit street style. I've got to admit, I've just spent an abnormally long amount of time trying to pick wheels for this, because I've always struggled to decide what wheels look good on this car. It's always a mixed bag, I feel. You don't want to go for anything too modern. I guess this is a bit more timeless and a bit more JDM, Japanese style, so I think that works. So I'm going to make this higher just because it just looks a bit wrong. And also, I've noticed that the rear is lower than the front. I mean, I get it. The engine's in the back. Okay, we need to make that a bit flatter. So I'm going to pretty much just bring that rear height up a little bit like that. Guess that makes it about right. Actually, we probably want to make that front just a little bit lower, so I guess that's about right. Maybe one down on the front. Yeah, okay, that's going to be good. That's a good rake. Then we bring the wheels out to there, and on the front we'll bring them out a bit. And yeah, that's looking good. So you might notice that I didn't change the color. I mean, red's such a classic. There's only a couple of different color options that I would actually go for on these MR2s, one of them being red. The other option is actually one of the car variations that this car can spawn in, and it's this two-tone color look. I'm just a big fan of the white and silver two-tone ones that they did of these, as well as the red. It's just a classic color combo. So actually, I'm going to go with that. And I just want to see, before we go any further, has this improved that? No, it has not improved the handling. In fact, it's made it so fast that with this really tail-heavy handling that it's got, it's just too much. The thing is, I know there is a meme about these cars about having snap oversteer, but that's really only if you're just going to like let off stupidly while going fast around a corner. If you're driving this properly and you keep it matted around a bend, you're not going to have any problems really, unless of course you end up hitting like a verge or something like that. So yeah, this one is a little bit too, I wouldn't even say it's tail happy, I would say it's just a little bit too lack of grip. There is just no grip on this car, which feels odd, and it's not just because of this, it feels crap on tarmac too. Well, I've got a couple more build ideas, so let's go. Okay, and here we are with build number 2. And I went in such a weird direction with this one. On the interior, I went really weird because I went for red interior with the red brides and then the gold. I don't know why I thought this would be fun. But then I decided to go, well, basically, my thought process was, what's the craziest look I could get? And so I went for that. And then this bright blue paint with pink wheels, completely stunced. I mean, that arch is sat right in between the tyre and the lip. That is, you can't really get much lower than that. We do have a very, very, very low slung exhaust as well, which is pretty much scraping on the floor. And I've gone for this bigger spoiler as well. And also, what I forgot to mention was, we do actually have 3 extras here. We have the ability to remove the spoiler just like this. We also have the ability to get rid of the Toyota label that is on the rear spoiler, which is, as you can see here. And then extra 2, well, I actually have no idea what extra 2 does. Can't see any difference. But yeah, I always like having that Toyota thing on the rear spoiler, so I just kept it on. And yeah, the height difference and the drivability difference of these 2 cars is massive. This one, I'd say, is undrivable. This is pretty much just a show car, whereas this actually looks usable. I really like this. I'm going to do one more build. I want to do an off-road version because, well, we're in the right place for it. So let's see how this looks. And here it is, the off-road version. I decided to just go for like a matte drab green, not olive, just a little bit of a darker green. I've gone for the plastic tops. I've gone for the carbon on the bonnet. I've gone for just the one seat. I've also gone for a roll cage, as you can see in there. And I've gone for these wheels, and I've jacked it up. And also gone for this long exhaust, because I thought, why not? And this thing looks absolutely ready for battle, doesn't it? What a combination of cars this is. I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below which one you prefer. Do you prefer this nice, timeless look? This is just the perfect car to me. Or we have this, which is just a complete stanced show car style. Or do you like the rugged, utilitarian version of the MR2, all jacked up with dirt wheels and muddy paint and matte paint, ready to, well, still wheel spin because the handling sucks on this sort of road? Let me know what you think in the comment section below, but that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have got all the way to the end of this video, you can say Redwood in the comment section below. That's Redwood in the comment section below. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.